You, Kathy, asked for the thing from the Friends of Temple Conservation. Was it about
Yeah.
butterflies?
Was that what it was about? Yeah, I couldn't
So
remember. What
I went looking in the Facebook. There's not a lot there.
Okay.
And I found something that I posted in
Yeah.
February, and it was to me it was like, this isn't my language. So, like, do butterflies make you smile? And
Okay.
so I responded to your email about tonight. I just sent it to you because I wasn't sure.
Okay.
You had something in mind. I completely
That
forgot.
must have been it. What was weird was it wasn't in either of my emails. It wasn't in my records.
Yeah.
But yet the minutes for February said members reviewed and approved Cathy's article. And I'm like,
Yeah,
why isn't it here?
yeah.
So,
So that, I think well, I'll just say that is the only thing we posted around that time.
okay.
There were other posts that had to deal with,
Oh, okay. So these were specific classes, which probably is not.
is that not what you were thinking?
No, it is what I was thinking at that time, but this isn't something we're gonna post on the website because it was specific to classes last winter.
Okay, maybe it's somewhere else then?
No, I think this was it,
Oh, okay,
but it wasn't like the mouse one is going to be intended to be up there all the time, and I actually started it today.
okay,
Got a whole bunch of resources together. But this one isn't a lasting one because it was just highlighting an on series of webinars. But we have to admit, Scott. And it is 6 o'clock, so.
okay. Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order.
I joined, okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Okay.
We've got we've got we have an hour.
Yeah, so we can move,
Yeah, we can,
so we
well, yeah.
can review the minutes of October.
November 12th. Do you have the agenda?
I'm looking at the older one.
I can email it to you.
No, I think I found it. November 12th, yes, okay. So Scott, it's in the room is myself, Cathy, Beth.
I can see you guys. I mean, you can say it if you want.
That's right. Okay, I didn't know if you were just on the phone or not. Okay, great. Any comments on the minutes or corrections on the minutes of November 12th?
Not for me.
I move we accept the minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Super.
so the agenda.
I can speak to the first two, and then I have one extra.
Okay.
Business. So the email address, it just came up at the planning board because Bill said, hey, I have no way to email everyone on the board to ask this question, which is in number 2. And so I think we had talked about this a while back, maybe. But the question is, do we want to have like a concom@temple.gov email that goes to all of us? Like that's what they do on the planning board. And that way you're not in the hot seat like into everything. But it's up to you whether, the town, with our new website and all of that bit, we can have an official temple.gov email if we want one.
And that's what this is there?
Yes, yeah, Bill
So,
does.
so how would it work? How would, is it actually just a distro to everybody? Or is there a real email that somebody has to go to?
It's a distribution to everyone on the Concom. So every email that someone sends to this address would get copied to each of us. And then we would, what the planning board does is, someone will respond and then they BCC everyone else so that we know that it's been responded to. But like the person, if it was, for example, a wildflower question, you might answer it and, respond and then BCC the rest of us so that we know, okay, that question has been answered.
Does it work that way, or, because I'm on another one of these for Fish and Game Club, and if you do a reply all, it goes to everybody, including that website, including that.
Well, that's why you.
So you get-
That's why you don't reply all. You just reply and then you BCC everyone. That's what's applied.
Yeah, but then if somebody else replies, those BCC people don't get it.
That's okay. I mean,
If you want to do it that way.
because theoretically, like, let's say Marie responded, they may have a more specific question of like, well, does that not like part sun or shade? Like, and she would still be the one to answer it. And if it needed to come back out to the whole group, then she could just copy.
BCC again,
Yeah,
respond, BCCing everybody. Is that how the others do it?
that's how planning board does it.
So they don't send ever from the government?
No.
Okay. If that's what they do, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, isn't that what we're doing with the Temple Telecom email?
No, because you're the only one who reads.
It doesn't forward to everybody?
No.
I could make it do that. I mean, most people don't want that.
Exactly. I mean, that's why, and this would, this email would only be published on, on the official town website as, if you need to ask a question of all of the Concom members,
Yes,
then that's what you would use. And it's just a way, I mean, it looks more official than a Gmail address since we are, a town committee.
the only issue with that is some people are concerned about sharing the private emails for public business, but we tend to do it anyway,
Well, and so your email wouldn't be published. It would just.
Not published, but it's be exposed to the people.
I think it is if you reply.
If you reply.
So what
That's
It comes from you.
What I've done for planning board is I've created my own Gmail account that's Cathy Julie PB at Gmail. For one, just because since I'm the clerk, I don't want things going into my personal account. I need them all separated. So if you all wanted to do that, you could easily do that. And then just, we'd specify that email on this distribution list.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of, and then that might become the email that you ignore and forget about, I mean, you won't because, yeah.
Going to be,
Yeah.
so it's not like, if one of us ignores it,
Yeah.
then it's all right, the others will get it.
I do this with a different organization and there's times when I will respond with the anonymous because I don't know who they are, don't know what they're doing. I think for the person
And we
who
can,
asked about about all of correspondence
Yeah.
about the NRI and the meeting, because my email was what he was asking for. I just replied because he was asking for the email correspondence and he was saying, yeah, your correspondence with using your personal email for town business is covered. It's public or it can be requested so that you see it. So I replied because of that reason.
Yeah.
I would have preferred not to,
Right.
honestly.
I mean, we can,
So there's,
one of the addresses in that distribution list can be Temple Concom at Gmail. And that way there's a record of it, all we see
Yeah.
that.
But what,
And we could respond.
if we get a lot of strange requests, then we want to do what you suggested, as long as everybody agrees that they will monitor this additional email. We could all make, Gmail person name CC or Concom or whatever, at Gmail, but,
We're talking about the email address.
Agree with that.
did you have a strong opinion about how
How to manage the email?
yeah, it would manifest like a distro, so it would hit that email and then would be
Would link-
forwarded to our private emails.
Yeah.
I think that's fine for now,
Yeah.
myself. Does anybody have any objections or other comments?
You said something earlier that's interesting. Can you reply anonymously from Outlook? Or is that something else? Because that might be a useful thing to be able to do. I mean, I don't really care too much because if somebody's being a jerk, I'll just block them.
Well, I mean, you have to reply with something. I mean, you have to be sending from some address. I was, when I said anonymous, I meant I was for a different organization. I would reply with the email that is published, not my private, the one that's published. Like, for example, Concom@Temple.gov, or TempleConcom@gmail.com. So if I really don't want to expose myself, I'll just directly email from that anonymous. It's not my personal, but it's a real email. It's a real account.
Very good.
So then let me ask, do you want me to put the templeconcom@gmail.com address on this list? I don't know that there's a.
If you do, only
Just-
Sean gets it, right?
I could have the Temple
Yeah,
Concom.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
what I want to do is I want to make my list.
You like the Temple Concom@Gmail because it's infinitely large, like you
Right, I
just
can
dump
forward
into it.
things, exactly.
That's one of the problems with government emails is they'll be like, oh, you can only save 6 months or whatever. And then we purge it for legal reasons or whatever. And Gmail is like, I have Gmail, goes back to 2006. But anyway,
Well, I'll put it on the list just so we have a record of anyone who responds to us. And then if there's anyone who wants a different email than what I'm currently sending to you, then tell me.
I'm good, use mine.
yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right,
And you'll have it also go to Temple Concom.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
All of us plus Temple Concom.
Okay,
Okay, perfect, all right. Excellent, I will reach out to them.
now,
Yeah, and then the RSA one, Christine already researched this and found that Temple did adopt it at the 2022 town meeting.
pretty
They
sure,
did?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
Yeah, she went back and researched, so that was.
the way I read
RSA, what was it, 147 or whatever?
41,
41-.
14-F. So,
That's weird because we never participated in the sale of those lots down 45.
Well, we didn't
If you-
participate in the
the
sale.
way I read this is if it's Concom related land, then they have to communicate it to us. They were not, we have never said that those lots were conserved, or like, all we would have had to do is publicly say to the select board or others, we're interested in that land, but we never did.
We did from the easement
Yeah, 'cause
standpoint.
we have
the
a strip,
trail
we have that
And they-
500-foot strip.
But they didn't sell that.
No,
Correct, that's what I'm
we
saying,
own it.
so we
Yeah,
had.
Yeah, so they didn't try to sell it under us, but the other lots we didn't say anything about, and they were able to sell them.
Yeah, I didn't interpret it the same way.
Well,
I mean, the way I read it, it sounded like if they want to sell anything, they have to ask us.
That's how I read
yeah,
it.
And we could go, I don't care.
Right, exactly. That's why I said this in that email. I said maybe, because Scott was on the land use committee, maybe he said, yeah, Concom's okay with it.
but it says, it doesn't simply mention the Concom, it's not, it says the Planning Board, Conservation Commission, Heritage Commission, the Historic District Commission, if the building lies within defined district for review and recommendation by those bodies. Where such the commission, if the commission exists for those, that's when they have to notify you. So if it to me, it reads, all those other, I mean, it's not just about Concom, it's about all these districts that have something to do with land.
District is a district. If it's inside that, it's them. If it's outside that, it isn't.
Yes,
We're not a district.
Right.
So I think anything in Temple relates to us.
Right, exactly.
That's the way I read it.
Yeah.
If you have a district, then that applies. If you don't have a district,
Right.
then they're supposed to ask.
That's how I interpreted it.
You know, like the planning board should have input on everything.
Mhm. Right.
And, 90% of the stuff we may go, here.
What did Christine say? It was a 2007 that we,
2022.
2022? Was that at the town meeting?
Mhm.
Did you read the,
No, but she did.
oh,
She's
okay.
extremely thorough, and
Yeah, she is.
she listed the,
Is that the same meeting though that the easement stuff was done too? And was that the one that was on the lawn when Sean, you sat next to me?
during COVID, you mean we had the outside
Yeah, was it then?
meeting?
Well, it doesn't matter, I suppose, but
Over, right?
yeah. I mean, I would hope that I would hope that whatever this is, the Concom would be asked about the selling of any land in Temple that the town wants to sell.
That's how I.
Now, if it's not the case, then we definitely need to tell them that we're interested in Skladaney like ASAP because they're already surveying it to put house lots.
Well, yes and no. They walked it, and Russ's opinion is that's junk. Nobody's going to want it.
Want what, the land?
Yeah,
But
Somebody-
the lots right over the.
Right on the
There's
road,
space for 5 lots.
right on the road.
Yeah, right along the road, but they're complete junk.
well,
No builder's going to be interested.
It doesn't matter. That is not necessarily true. So we cannot just
so
forget about things like this.
let's make it official tonight.
Okay.
By
But we're-
I move that we propose the town consider conserving the Skladaney land for conservation.
Yes.
And
It's gonna start a whole bunch of stuff when we do this, but we need to do something soon because they're moving along quickly to investigate whether or not they can put some housing in there or sell it or whatever.
okay,
And they're not talking to us.
right. Right.
Who is
we?
they,
Who's
Scott?
we? Yeah.
Well,
They-
Bruce Colgren, Steve Anderson, and Huntley.
Yes, and I had a meeting with them this past Monday, and the assessment now, a week ago,
is this
yesterday,
an official committee?
yes,
What's
It
it
is.
called?
What
it's
is
the
it?
facilities, it's the,
Oh,
so those guys, as an offshoot of the town facilities research committee, and I know it's not the official name, I always forget what the official name is. Anything they do if we need some funding, if they're gonna, is it an option to fund, to sell some of those lots and use that money to fund any improvements? They were investigating that kind of freelance in preparation of a proposal to that committee. And when Russ walked it, it was based, his evaluation, this is coming from Steve Anderson. His evaluation is that they were junk and nobody's gonna do anything it's not pursuing. It's not worth pursuing. That being said, I agree with Scott that we ought to make the statement that just to be on the record, Concom has interest in all land in Temple, period.
well, let's That's a stronger statement. Let's make one about Skladaney first, and we can make a second one about the rest of the land.
Let me clarify, the information about investigating selling some lots, is this?
That is
Is
nothing
that in
official.
minutes? Oh, it's not. in
That
minutes.
is nothing official.
So I,
They were, as a sidebar to the committee, it's recognized that we're gonna need some money. You either get it from taxpayers or you get it from,
so I can't put that in minutes.
and no,
Because, well, no, that's what I'm asking. It's not,
It's not a public
Yeah, it's
information.
just rumor at this point.
okay,
exactly.
all right. then
Exactly.
I will not put that in the minutes because it's not.
And I mean, I had conversations with Bruce Colburn Jr. a few times about where he expresses interest in conserving Skladaney. But he's not talked to me about selling at all. But that's just a private conversation I had with him. So I don't think it belongs in the minutes, but I could say, other people have been interested.
No, I don't think we should go in that direction with this. Bruce has told me the same thing. But Bruce, at the time he talked to me, which was just maybe 3 weeks ago, he was really keen on trying to get some money for the town. And he was looking at the front of General Miller lots. And he thought, yeah, we can sell those, and then we can get enough money to do the conservation work on the land we need. And he just throws stuff at you like that. It's
What is
He talks about what he's thinking about when it's still half baked, and that's okay. So what you're referring to, Scott, was probably accurate 3 weeks ago. Talk to him again. It's probably completely changed because what I'm talking about happened 9 days ago.
So, but if the town sold Skladaney land, it's not guaranteed unless that was part of the sale agreement or something. That money would be used for conservation.
of course.
Okay, again,
So
this is all rumor and innuendo, so not meeting minutes. But basically, the thought process was, we're gonna need some money to fix buildings. Let's put a warrant article together for the next town meeting to say, let's sell 5 lots and put that money in the trust fund for buildings and facilities for future use to be defined, to be determined. Which is kind of a neat idea, and then you can serve the rest of the land. And to that end, so you start with that thought. To that end, you walk the property and say, what do we think is here? What do we think the land's worth? And Russ and Bruce and Steve walked it. And Russ's assessment, not, professional, if you will, but the guy's a hell of a lot of experience. But his assessment is this is junk, nobody's gonna want it. So that pretty much ended their discussion.
I thought the same thing of those lots on 45 because they were so steep, right? Who would want this? But
Yeah,
people carved in driveways and put houses up in there, so.
So,
Apparently it's all wet and crappy.
And
but
I didn't-
they still built a house.
Built
all right,
houses.
so.
But I agree with Scott,
So Scott, do you agree that we should publicly say we would like to conserve Skladaney?
Sure.
I don't see any downside really to going ahead because there are a lot of people like Lillian LaBelle and others that want us to do that, and she's freaking out about the Huntley stuff, and she.
Okay, so let's do it. We have to vote. I made a
You
move.
move that we propose the town consider conserving the Skladaney land. Or do you want me to say placing a conservation easement on the Skladaney land?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a different, I mean, it's the same thing. One is general comment, the other is more specific, but conserving is something people would understand.
okay, got it,
The easement is
Yep.
going to start to lose people.
okay.
And conserving could mean different things to different people, so it's just a general.
Okay,
And at this point, all we have to say is that we've expressed interest
Yeah,
in conserving.
yes,
Because if we're not careful with our wording, people might yell at us that we have to do a warrant article.
well, that's why I'm
And
wondering.
if you want to take the step to conserve it, that's a warrant article issue.
Correct. All right, so do we, how about, who's in favor?
anybody gonna second?
I seconded it.
You did, okay,
Yeah.
all right. All in favor of proposing to the town that we save, we conserve the
The town
Skladaney land?
consider considering the Skladaney.
Yeah, all in favor? Aye, okay,
Any opposed?
okay,
Can you reread back that,
the proposal,
Sean
the
moved,
motion? What's the
Motion.
motion?
Sean
The motion.
moved that we propose the town consider conserving the Skladaney land.
you can take the word consider out. I don't think, I
The
think that,
town- Okay, we propose.
make
the
it a
town
strong statement,
conserve The Skladaney land.
yeah,
And then,
considers,
So the response of a lot of people to that is gonna be, good, write a warrant article.
right, right.
and,
And that's not where I thought we wanted to go with this, that, well, where we wanted to go was express to the select board that we're interested in
Well,
considering conserving that. So if you're gonna try and sell it, you have to talk to us.
yeah, that's what that statement would mean to me, that we're interested in conserving it.
So the select board is not gonna read our minutes, most likely. So what is our next step?
So, Scott, do you send an email to Bill?
or do we want to put ourselves on the
On the
agenda of the
agenda.
select board?
I'm gonna, even though I'm the chairman, I think I can sign something or whatever, but you guys need to pursue it with Bill or whoever to figure out whether or not there's gonna be a meeting of some kind or attending one of their meetings or something. But I can tell you, it's definitely not gonna be me. I'm not gonna be back until April.
So if we simply sent an email to all three of the select board, and this is a suggestion for debate, that we send an email to all three of the select board that basically says pursuant to RSA 41:14A, we want to inform you that the Conservation Commission is very interested in the conservation of the Skladaney property, something like that.
My guess is they're gonna ask us to come to a meeting because they'll have questions.
And
Yeah.
that's fine, but that's what I said,
That's-
be invited to the meeting.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
I mean, this all started with Bill asking that question, right?
Well, it started before that, because my meeting, back when we were still not sure what we were going to do with the highway department, Bruce was keen about conserving it. And he came to me a couple of times and was like, we could put trails and we could do things. I was like, great, let's conserve it then. So, that happened a while ago. And it's like,
it happened with the select board though, right? No one.
right. We've kind of just dropped the ball, to use a term, but,
No, we talked
given
about this.
everything that I'm hearing, I would say we should take it up with the select board now. And see where they sit. If they approve, we only need two of them to.
So who should send that email? And I mean, hopefully,
The chair,
Well,
where someone can write it.
Y-
just-
yeah,
oh yeah,
That's
Scott,
fine.
can you,
Scott, if you want to send the email to them, or, I mean, Bill used to be my neighbor. I have a pretty good relationship with him. I could just take it up with Bill and see if they would like, what his perspective, because he would be the one who would most likely say yes, and the other two, I don't know.
okay,
Well, I think that kind of background or prep or whatever is fine, but somebody needs to write it. It's not going to be me, and I can try to sign it, with a electronic signature, whatever.
an auto pen.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
the first outreach, especially to Bill, needs to be anything formal.
Right.
I think probably he's going to say, get on our.
Just,
agenda.
just-
Talk about
yeah,
it.
that's what I was thinking. I was gonna just say, Bill, hey, this is in our minutes today, tonight, or yesterday, we would like to know, present this to the select board.
Okay.
And then, what are your thoughts? Like, make it, like, ask for his input. What are your thoughts? And should we ask Carol to put us on the agenda?
Perfect. Okay, and then we should all plan, or as many of us as possible should plan to be at that.
Now, if we wanted to do what Clay sort of suggested, that we would like to be informed of any sales.
I think that would be something,
that's-
I would like to bring this up first, and maybe at that meeting, we could get into this.
Yeah,
If we get invited to the select board meeting, hit everything.
You can just go to.
yeah, right.
Their meeting and,
Well, we have to be on the agenda.
But
for 1
yeah,
o'clock.
unlike,
no, you could bring it up in the open comment section of it, right? Isn't there the?
Well,
it depends on whose meeting you're running. Some of them are, some of them don't, they have enough business that if you're not on the agenda, you're SOL.
Yeah,
I've seen some,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, somebody's here, well, what are you here for,
Almost 2 years ago. It's in my notes, right? Let's write Skladaney warrant article for CE. That was.
and then we changed our
And we
mind.
changed our mind about it. This is like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That they're gonna do it.
Well,
We were
I think-
new to this, and if that's what I'm thinking of.
Was it John?
We had suggested, and no, it was kind of kindly, absolutely went non-linear.
yeah.
And we kind of.
And
Yeah, she went berserk. It was pretty funny.
it wasn't because she didn't like it, but she just thought there was going to be ugly pushback. And
Well, it's not what it sounded like to me.
No, because the original, her husband and the older Culgren bought that land.
When they convinced the town.
they convinced,
Hey,
it was
Exactly.
it was Bruce Senior. Bruce Senior
Yeah.
stood up, he was the last person expected who would propose this. And he said a couple of statements and everybody crumbled in, or the resistance. So, it is, his family has a lot to deal with this in that regard. So, I don't know. I think I've always thought at the right time, we should consider it. And, I don't see why we shouldn't do it now.
Yeah, it's a good time as any. I mean, we talked about it 2 years ago when we were doing the meadow. We were talking about it as bookends entrance to the village,
Yes.
And protecting the entrance to the village on both sides but.
And,
yeah, it's a good time
he's
today,
going to
right?
benefit, he made Bruce Junior, and the people on the other side, I mean, they're going to, there's going to be some people that are for it.
Yeah.
Because anybody around there is going to want no change to happen, so. And it also would introduce potential for trails very close to the center of town, which is nice, hiking trails, horse trails, etc. There's lots of reasons we could,
Losing.
was-
Imagine horse trails. Very strange.
yes, yeah. If that
Does the
persists, that's a lot.
anybody go up on that land now?
Well, apparently you can walk it in the green, but
I got permission.
permission.
Oh,
But he's concerned with liability for horses where. So
Yeah.
horses on it. I'm
I
not sure a lot of the details in there.
I walked the head of
stones.
White property, stone property, and I have to walk the perimeter, and I saw there's an old farm road that goes out of her property into the property behind, which I think is Kylie's. And there was this sign, no horses, no wheel, and no motorized vehicles. So, and that was used by their horses. So
Yeah,
it's there. So things have changed.
So we have some talking points. If it gets to where we have a public hearing to propose this or.
Yes.
Then
Yeah.
we've got some things we can talk about. Okay.
I need some fireworks if we need to go clear trails. I'll help, I can take a file.
We,
A lot of land they're cut up there for you, just go for it.
What's that?
Just tell them you didn't know you're on
Yeah.
property
Okay.
as you clear an acre of wood.
What I wanted to add for new business, which you all probably got if you're on the, email blast from the website, the Marsh case, there's a site walk scheduled on December 16th at 10 a.m. And the ZBA public hearing is on December 18th at 6:30 p.m.
And this is for their new antique store scheme,
Yes,
or whatever it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
their antique restoration
Yeah.
facility, which they're still talking about having brick floors.
Yeah.
So,
So, this is completely new to me, what are we?
I didn't see that in the email.
I didn't either.
yeah, it's on the town website.
Oh.
is the 16th the same thing night as
December
something else?
What she said.
HO?
Yeah, the 16th is the planning board public hearing, but this is, the sidewalk is the 16th at 10 in the morning.
Oh.
And the 16th is the, all the zoning changes that the planning board would like us there to speak to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we gonna talk about that too?
Yes, it's on the list. That's why we need to get going, because we've got.
We got 30 minutes. Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to give you those two dates, because we won't be meeting again. So.
Is anybody able to go on the 16th at 10 a.m.?
I don't, no, I put it in my calendar because I'd like to go, I don't know.
Let's coordinate. That's normally when I have my staff meeting, but if no one else can go, then I can.
Should be Tuesdays are free for me.
Okay, because it's important, I think, for one of us to at least be there. They're not allowing us to talk, but we should at least be.
And that-
And they're not, you have to stay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The meeting is on the
Yeah.
18th, a Thursday. Okay. At 6:30.
Okay.
So, okay.
Any more on 4114A?
I don't,
Okay,
we know what we're doing. Now.
so, welcome Beth Preston.
Yeah, I feel welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We can just move to the next thing.
Mowing invoice, do we need to have that taken care of?
That's I mean, I don't know why it's on the agenda. I sent it in 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Well, it was technically, it came through after our last meeting, so I just wanted to give you a chance to
I thought
say.
we'd approved all that. Scott, have you gotten an invoice from NHCC yet?
Let's see. 1 sec. I normally would forward it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, that's all the letter.
Let me look.
Because
I get a lot of stuff from them.
yeah, or else if you don't have it, I'll call her tomorrow and tell her to send it to me. I know that comes in December.
Okay, hang on. Gmail. Okay. I thought we already processed all that because I remember.
No,
Yeah, I mean, Carol asked me about it. Hang on.
Oh, did it go to Carol instead?
Yeah. Let's see.
she would have sent something to me to ask me what account to put it in, but I haven't seen the invoice or anything. Usually we
Okay.
have December. And
Oh, wait.
we're running out of December, so.
No. She asked me a while ago. Hang on. Trying to find it.
Is the town budget run on the calendar, the fiscal calendar and the,
I think it's the calendar
yeah,
year.
okay, so we have to pay it before the end of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it assumes, like, so we're kind of running on borrowed money
Yeah,
up until
yeah.
the March meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Oops. I know it's here, so hang on.
All right. Well, while you're looking for it, because we don't have a lot of time, did anyone have any notes? Because Christine specifically asked on notes for the solar ordinance draft application. I had a couple of just formatting things.
Most of this is beyond me, but on page 5
Oh,
The
of
zone-
the ordinance,
the
Okay.
Solar,
A1A. Accessory use solar general standards for accessory use solar. Height on a pitched roof. It says may not extend beyond the edge of the roof peak. When they installed mine, they were adamant that it had to be, I don't know, 18 inches or 2 feet below the roof peak. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's,
that,
I think it's from wind, so the wind.
that's exactly what he said, so the wind can't get under it.
Yeah.
But this sounds like it can go all the way up to the roof peak. And I don't know which one, I would think code
No,
takes precedence over this, but you think
Yeah.
it should be in sync.
Right. Yeah.
But this does not appear to be code from what they told me when they put mine on.
I mean, I'm guessing Christine took most of this language from the Soul Smart people. I mean, the nationwide folks developed this draft ordinance. So,
So I don't know if we want to raise that to her or not. If it, you know, it seems
Yeah.
somewhat incidental, but it doesn't sync up.
right, I don't think anyone on the planning board has the expertise to be able to say what it should be. And since it doesn't conflict, like
Well, it
it's,
seems to conflict.
well, no, it's telling you you can't go above the roof peak.
Equals bucket.
Oh, that's right.
So
When the
it's still-
code is.
So it says 18.
It's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On page 9, the first sentence says foraging specified, which I assume they were talking about planting natives, and I assume they meant foraging wildlife. And then,
That's species. Is that,
well, they're talking about species in the first part of that. They're talking about planting species that provide habitat for songbirds, pollinators,
Yeah.
and foraging species, which doesn't really make sense.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, anyway, the question I had, there was a comment from legal on decommissioning, and they said either everyone should post a bond or no one should post a bond, and I thought
I agree with that comment.
it.
I would say no bond.
I would definitely for homeowners, but I thought for primary use, especially large arrays, would we want them to post a bond? for
I would say if it's I made that comment to her once before. If it's commercial, we should be a little bit more stringent. But if it's residential, less stringent. So
Exactly.
I think if it's commercial, yeah, I'd post a bond to decommission it, but
Alright.
for residential, no.
Okay, so I'll just.
That was my opinion, but
Okay, perfect. All right, so I will share the feedback with her. Can we get through the? Do you all already have comments for the Concom brochure? I have some specifics and more general.
I went and updated the inventory, the Granite View Conservation Land Inventory online is not current.
Right.
So it's like,
Old.
yeah, they're supposed to update it regularly, one year when, I don't know how the updating works, but anyway, so I'm gonna update the numbers on the tax piece of that, so.
Okay.
Cause we've added a few acres, a few
Cool.
parcels, you know, we're probably closer to that 25% target from the Forest Society now, and, you know, so I went and did that, and I'll update that, that will be the change that I make to that.
For the PowerPoints, we're going through this at work, so that's why my head is here, because I'm normally not, this isn't my forte. But it hit me that, like, on the PowerPoint, we're talking about, you know, what the Concom goals are. But what we really want to do is grab resident, because we can't do anything to conserve land without residents wanting to.
Yeah.
Like that is, you know, we can't force anyone, we can't, you know, we can suggest, but that's a limit. So I thought, can we focus at least some of the slides, and I'm imagining that these could be put on the website, as really digging deep into why would you, meaning the resident, want to conserve your land? And like dig into, like, do you want to see wildlife? Do you want to have birds at your feeder? Do you want clean drinking water? Do you want fresh food from local farms? Like, at work, we're doing all of this like action stuff that needs to be actioned. And so if we have a slide like that that really digs into the amazing benefits of conservation, and then like an action at the end, like if so, like
Yeah.
reach out to us and ask us about conserving.
We should, I didn't make those slides for the public. I made them for as a conversation topic.
I think you're right.
So, but yeah, I mean, if we wanted to make like a set of slides that we want to post that does all that, I think that's a good idea.
Well, and the one you're talking about should be the first.
Say that again?
Yeah,
The one that Cathy's talking about should be the first.
I mean, or it could be, so, and I emailed you the comments on the website. I've been waiting for my car to get inspected this morning, and that's why I was doing all this ongoing stuff.
One last one,
Huh?
one last one. Was it a month or two? You don't have to get it inspected anymore.
I know, which I dread, because there are gonna be car parts all over the road, but anyway.
Yeah, no kid.
But maybe what we do is we even have that kind of a page separate, and it could be one of the left-hand menu items. I don't know, let's come up with a snappy title, but.
Yeah, and we have to work on the gotcha part.
Exactly.
Because everything you were listing, what's going through my head is, you don't need conservation for anything. My property, I'm not gonna let anybody build on it. What conservation gets
Well-
you is the legacy.
That's a good point.
It preserves it
Exactly.
for, do
Yep.
you want this to continue
Yeah,
after you're, do you want to
You-
leave a legacy
Yep.
of birds and butterflies and stuff? And I think that's what conservation really gets you.
I agree. Perfect, I'll put
Yeah.
that in here. And I also was going to say, we could add a plug too, that the Concom is here specifically to educate you about
Yeah.
how to do all of these things. If it's something that you don't know how to encourage
Help
pollinators, you don't know.
Go
how-
through the process.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Oh,
well,
I
not just easements, but also to
Right.
care for the land. So we can kind of be a two-parter,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to preserve and protect resources in their clean, well, it's clean.
There's a lot of good information out there. We could kind of plagiarize,
Oh, definitely, yeah,
and create
definitely,
an information brochure, if you will, so.
yeah.
When I see PowerPoints, I usually ask, who's the audience? Is this for just the general public? Is this something that's going to go on the website, or who's going to be?
She's
Well, it
discussing?
wouldn't have to be a PowerPoint, that's why with our
Yeah.
conversation, it may just be a PDF. That's like,
Yeah,
Okay,
the benefit, like, why should I conserve my land, or some,
Well,
some kind
if
of.
you do the legacy thing, and then kind of, what I'm reading these, like your background. 44 other people have already done this. Right, you're joining a group of people.
Exactly,
Yeah, it's a
And
community.
That kind of reels people in,
yeah.
you're not doing it first. You're not an also-ran, you're in an elite group of 44 people, you'd be number 45.
So this
So it's not a big
PowerPoint,
group.
the PowerPoint, is this new or?
so this is what,
I did it a
Yeah,
couple of years ago. That's that.
And this was for presenting
For
to
us.
any,
For us to have a discussion on how we wanted to, if we wanted to create a strategy on how to promote conservation within,
okay,
in easements within the town.
Okay.
That's, I thought I sent that out a couple
You-
of months ago, resent it
maybe you did.
to one of the recent meetings. Maybe it was the last.
yeah,
one.
and I
Did
copied it on this one.
Yeah, okay.
For
I don't have
me,
my phone with me, so I'm kind of lost.
a PowerPoint always has to have an objective to me. Like it has, what's it
Yeah.
trying to do? Who's it talking to?
Yeah,
It can't just exist. It has to have a purpose and.
yeah, you have to read it and decide if there's a purpose to it or not.
Yeah,
mean,
well, I mean, it's like, was this an introduction to what we are, or is it trying to sell conservation? I agree with comments both Clay and Cathy you made that we have to voice land conservation in a way that doesn't make it too technical, too elaborate, too governmenty. too restrictive. It's like, it's about the future, and I would like somewhere in there to say, when we're trying to encourage people to, like, that they have options. So, there's different things you can do. You can, just like an agricultural conservation easement versus a pure wildlife conservation easement. They look and behave very differently, but they're both conserved land. So, it's the people have options.
Well, what I look at this is like a resume, it's the point of a resume, not to get you a job, it's to get you an interview.
Yeah, right.
And this thing,
Get them talking.
I think this PowerPoint is not to get people to do
Well, and
conservation easements.
that's
It's
not.
to get people to ask us about conservation
Well,
easements.
Well, you need to
It was
know the PowerPoint
the
then.
purpose of the
Well,
PowerPoint, hang on for a second. The purpose of writing that PowerPoint was so that we could have a discussion and figure out what our strategy should be if we want to create a strategy. That has nothing to do with anybody outside these four walls.
And I wasn't
So-
saying it was an amusing PowerPoint just because
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
We can use the word propaganda instead if that's.
That would work.
And
But
That's really what we're trying, I think. So let's take a big step back. I would like to produce something for public consumption to get people to talk to us, to get people interested in conservation. And if you have that interest,
Yeah.
things
I
will
think
build
that's,
from
I
there.
think that's useful.
yeah,
Small bite.
Yeah, I think that's very useful. So.
I think
Okay, I just have an addition to make.
PowerPoint, they're going to turn off. They're gonna shut down.
I turned it into, and I thought this was, when I first saw this, it's like, okay, this is for public consumption. And then I started looking through it, it's like, this is just gonna confuse people.
Yeah,
But if it's for us to collect thoughts,
that's,
way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
discussion.
Scott, what were you gonna say?
Well, okay, PowerPoints, the ones that are meaningful or whatever have nice pictures, okay? Not just slides with type. And we should talk about, if we're doing a PowerPoint, we need to talk about the last 5 conservation easements that were done in town or something. Mention them. I mean, there's at least 5, and kind of show off a little bit about what's been accomplished in the last
if
6 or 7 years.
it should be video. We should video.
What?
It should be video.
Well, video's great, but a PowerPoint
TikTok,
with
a
good
video,
photos.
something short and concise that's visually very appealing. We don't need to have a professional videographer or anything,
Yeah.
but something that will visually appeal and suck them in, and have the message very simple. But I agree, we don't want it to sound too
Yeah,
business.
and our target audience is people with significant chunks of land,
Yeah,
right?
and that's-
And they're the more likely ones to want to leave a legacy. 'Cause if they wanted to sell it for buildings, they already would.
well, yes and no.
Okay, so we'll continue this then at the next meeting, because I assume people are.
Okay.
Come in.
10 minutes.
Anything else we have to go over quick that,
I would love, on the website, we don't even have an overview page, an overview blurb. Does anyone know if there is like a fun, exciting, happy description of the Concom, what it does? I found a boring description.
well, a lot of people think what we should be doing, according to the RSA for conservation commissions is, we're trying to preserve temples' natural resources, including water. Water's a big one because everybody needs water. But we're trying to preserve natural resources.
Yeah.
And that's not, we're not trying to take their land. A lot of people think that no, we're not trying to write laws. That's all we're trying to do. And that's what I was thinking before the meeting started, when I was trying to, that it should be very concise and clear at what we do. It could be made more zippy and appealing.
Well, I was also going to say, in addition to like that specific thing, it should be about, we help people put conservation easements on their property, we provide education, it's that kind of, not just what the RSA says, but some specific examples, because I'm thinking if someone is new to town and they look this up and they're like, oh, well, I'm interested in those things, I want to join. So that's why I thought it'd be nice to have some.
Yeah.
If you kind of dress up like one sentence of the RSA definition and something like, and we help people leave a legacy on their land or something like that. We're here to help. And I'm trying I'm looking for words that will get, if somebody owns a big chunk of land, which I wish I had, what do you want to do with it when you're gone?
Okay,
Right?
so, all right.
Legacy is just a one.
I don't think we have to brainstorm this and come up with a better solution. We can share our thoughts on this over email, but we can't decide until next meeting.
Well, I was gonna say, we could just, I can make the agenda a little bit more juicy so that we remember what we're supposed to be thinking about, so that we can all maybe come with whether it's a full sentence or just like a few bullet points or phrases that we want to put in there. And then we can wordsmith it. And then
over the next month, lobbing a couple of emails around.
We can just,
Because
okay.
I tend to build on people's ideas way better than I come up with ideas.
I think that's
I'm like Randy coming up.
very, very human aspect of how humans work.
Yeah.
As long as we send emails and don't respond to anyone's emails to comment, we can respond to each other's emails with other blurbs, but just don't say, oh, I really like, I really, don't think we should say this. I think we just
right.
Throw it all in and I can put everything together.
So
Sean sends out his version.
You can.
I like something, I tweak it, and then I lob it out as mine.
and then we'll have an email chain with all of our ideas.
And I can,
Right.
And that's
together.
And that's something we can use. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think better that way.
Okay, all right, we will plan to do that for next. I can send out the first reminder for that, and then we can start sending from there. And did you guys, because I could do this quickly with Carol, did you guys agree on like pulling out all the maps out of the natural resource inventory? I don't know if you've seen that, but that's fascinating.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have a section that's just maps.
Okay.
Maps are great. People
Okay.
like looking at them.
Yeah, okay. All right, I will tell Carol to do that.
That's a great idea.
And were there any particular things, obviously we'll need to do we'll wordsmith the blurb. Were there any other things that you saw in here that you didn't agree with?
Why
Or
don't you, and this may be specific. The woolly delges.
They are
and the
already-
jumping worm.
those two are already in the learn about nature around you
Okay,
page.
okay.
So it's like they
They're not
don't,
being removed, they're just, the duplicates being removed.
they're duplicates, yeah. And I just thought that
Okay, because I thought both of those were good.
if a menu has too much stuff in it, people are gonna ignore it because
Yeah.
it's too full. So that's why I was trying to limit things down. And it'll limit, if we put all the maps on their own page, that'll get rid of two, because they'll go over to on that page. So, okay, perfect. We are good to go. Does someone want?
Motion to adjourn.
I second. Do you know Carol Zallers? Carol, Singlace?
She's working, I think, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'm not sure what hours
Not Thursday?
No, she's not working on Thursday. That changed. And I remember going there specifically trying to reach her on a Friday and she wasn't there the hour that was on her thing. So, but I know she takes care of her granddaughter, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
It's still being taped.
okay.
Oh, take
Oh,
care,
I can-
Scott.
We're gonna stop the meeting, I think.
Just leave them on there so I can spy on the other guys.
Well, they probably have their own, they have their own meeting.
Oh.
Bye, Beth.
Hi, Scott.
Still there.
Bye.
Stop. Pause.